Advertising is supposed to be simple. You spread the word about your deals and offerings, people see it, and then customers buy. Nowadays, it's difficult to know where to run your ads and for how long, let alone measure the value generated.
Retail automotive advertising was always built on the big three media: newspaper, radio, and television. Some of the guys had big TV presence. They'd wear a big hat, make promises, you'll be treated like family, I will not be undersold. You know, everybody knew them in the marketplace. And the power players would buy the best position in the Saturday and Sunday newspaper. They'd have a whole spread. But every dealer sat down, no matter what their Sunday newspaper position was, they sat down and very carefully every week constructed that ad to reflect exactly what they needed to sell that week. So if they were thick on F-150s, they'd sort of put the F-150s at the top and run some, specials, and that would get the attention of the in-market shoppers who were ready to buy, and they'd pick up the newspaper and say, okay, this is where we're going to go to buy our F-150.
Automotive advertising has continued to become more and more complex. As you have the internet, you have all the different channels, you have the confusion on where you should spend the dollars, what you should spend the dollars on, how do you transition from, frankly, traditional broadcast options to digital, and how do you overlay all your tactics? Today, we spend too much money on automotive advertising. We've lost efficiency. We're spending north of $600 per vehicle sold. And we don't need to, because margins have gone down, advertising has gone up, but sales have remained relatively flat.
Current automotive advertising techniques waste capital on little returns. With so many platforms to run on, people to target, and techniques to use, the current state of automotive advertising seems bleak. However, the beginnings of the next technological revolution are on the horizon.
The digital advertising revolution is focused around artificial intelligence. It's moving away from humans making a decision to advertise vehicles based off of preconceptions that they have. The machine has no preconceptions, it is just interested in results. It wants to find the right vehicle to advertise to the correct person at the correct time.
One of the elements that we need to understand is the kind of relationship between time and data, and really that humans no longer have the time to actually process this information anymore. There's only, 24 hours in the day, 18 of them waking, and only so much time to process data and make decisions. So AI really will save us a lot of time and make better decisions by being able to process through all these data points and help us make decisions. Digital marketing is a great example of an activity within the dealership that a dealership knows is really important. People are looking online all the time for vehicles, they're researching. Dealers know they need to be doing something right. But in effect, it's not something they enjoy. I know from being on many calls with dealers, talking about digital metrics or digital decision making is much less enjoyable than the act of being a car dealer, which is buying and selling cars and making sure they have happy customers. So I think that that's a great example of one type of activity that dealers will love to have offloaded.
Utilizing the power of AI, LotLinx moves vehicles off the lot faster than traditional or digital advertising alone. With strategy built into their system, they have a passion for giving dealerships the freedom to streamline their marketing efforts and sell cars smarter.
LotLinx starts with a deep understanding of a dealer's actual inventory and what available shoppers are in their market that want those exact units, and uses that data to combine when is the best opportunity to touch that shopper at the right moment across any online source, so you can drive that person to the vehicle we know they want and then help that dealer move that car.
When this all started, I was an angel investor in San Francisco looking for friction. And that's what you do, is you look at where things are broken and how the internet could fix that. So you're essentially looking, in the case of consumer, you're looking for sort of friction between the buyer and the seller. There was no place where it was more broken than automotive. A very high involvement, high value purchase decision. Consumers have moved online very aggressively in their automotive search, but the platforms were antiquated, full of paywalls and obstacles between the buyer and the seller. We built some technology and did some testing on a new model for the publishers, the online sites, a new way of navigating for the consumer, and a new business model for the dealer, just essentially shortening the distance between those parties, and everybody benefited. The publishers did better, the dealers did better, and the consumer was much happier.
Next generation advertising requires a forward-minded approach. With machine cognitive processing impacting industries at an accelerated pace, AI will soon enhance most of our day-to-day processes. In automotive marketing, LotLinx is leading the revolution.
I think the most exciting thing that we're working on with AI and for our dealers is really this concept of putting a bunch of data together in order to inform decisions for internet advertising for their inventory. You know, for example, when a dealer drops the price on the vehicle, how does the promotional engine that we've created respond to that price drop? Right now, there are no real solutions. The amount of human effort to be managing all those things would be so large. But with AI, this becomes possible so that we can have a holistic view.
At LotLinx, we're really excited about a future that uses artificial intelligence to better advertise vehicles for automotive dealers, as well as find those vehicles that the consumer wants at the right time in their location that gets them a great price, the right vehicle at a local dealer, and just takes friction out of the sales process.
To learn more, contact us today.